Yep,
Okay.
because I'm showing the difference between how you and I do stuff. We're making a little name things for Greg Burns, the repairman at Bromfield Pen Shop, which we'll be visiting later today. And Nick is going to be doing a beautiful silver ink on black paper. And he's planning, as you can see, with his rulers and his lines and his careful planning. And I'm just going to dive headlong and do my weird initials like I've been doing for a while that you've been watching me draw, which look halfway between the love child of the Book of Kells and something the cat coughed up, a fur ball. So I'm going to do his three initials, G, C, B, in some sort of festive thing. And using black and red on white paper, and Nick will be using silver ink on black paper. And we'll be doing this side by side. And I don't know if we'll see all of us do the work, but we'll try it out. So hopefully you'll see both of us working at the same time, and he and I won't be driving each other mental. So I'm going to move this up a little bit more so they can see. Your hand is sort of covering up some of it, but that's what happens. Now I have to decide what sort of G I'm going to make. This is a much fatter pen than I was planning on for this job. But that's okay. Just keep it going here. Nick and I I'm essentially doodling initials. I'm doodling shapes that vaguely are begun by the generalized shape of the letters. And if I asked 9 out of 10 people on the street, or probably 10 out of 10 people on the street, if I showed them this thing when it's done and asked them what it is, not even one of them, not even 1 out of 100 would say, oh, that's a GCB. That's really neat. They're all going to say, is that something the cat puked up? So it's not legible what I'm doing. I'm just having fun with pen nibs. Whereas Nicola is of the school, and it's a school that I sometimes belong to, where if the letters aren't legible at the end of the day, you failed. Am I saying that correctly?
I'd agree with that.
You agree with that? I mean, you agree, you also love the idea that people, calligraphers, can make fun calligraphic lines that mean nothing.
Yeah.
But if something is meant to have a word that is meant to be readable, you have to make it readable. You can't let the words still have to be there. The words and the meanings of the words have to be there. So, and again, with my little doodles that I've been dealing with here, I'm just enjoying the making marks with the pen, and whether it's readable or not isn't important to me in this particular case. In what I'm doing, it doesn't make any difference. I'm adding a drop shadow on my C here because I'm being fancy. So, is that silver ink already?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It seems so faint in a way. We have matching frames that these will go into. One is wood grain, light brown wood, and the other one is sort of a very dark brown. And each of the frames openings has a silver metal frame around that. So I think my piece will go in the darker frame, maybe. See what looks best. Well, my lettering here is becoming the love child. It's the love child of a three-way between the Book of Kells, something the cat puked up, and a World War I era razzle-dazzle battleship camouflage pattern. Suddenly, would you agree with that, Mister?
I don't know. I'm trying to.
He's trying to think. He's trying to spell. He's trying to spell. I can't interrupt him. He's mixing ink. What he does is that the ink has little tiny particles of metal suspended in it, so it requires continual shaking or mixing, and then he applies a drop of the ink or two onto his pen nib using a paintbrush. And that's something I never tried. I learned a trick from him. Actually, I learned it from Ted Clausen first.
We're all control freaks.
Well,
that's what it is.
I'm the least.
Yeah.
I'm just a freak. I don't think you need to add the word control on it. But Nicola is very. Oh, look. See, I got my hand in it, so I now have my fingerprints, which I'm now trying to handprints. I'm now trying to cover up. So forensic people will. I'm adding thorns to these letters now. And I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm essentially ruining it, but it's okay. Look, Nick, I'm giving it acupuncture. That's what it looks like. Yeah, no one would know that this is a G and a C and a B. Pen repairman. And that's with white ink or okay. Silver and I think I've... What do you think about this, Mr.?
It's pretty cool. It's very three-dimensional.
Very three-dimensional. Yeah. That's one thing that you don't often see in calligraphy, other than, you know, a drop shadow sort of a thing.
Yeah.
You don't see, or sometimes you see that in monograms, where you see the monogram going behind, one line going behind another one, and they do a sort of shadow on it. And okay, now I have to add some of that over here on the G. I'm going to add some red. I don't really like my little acupuncturing routine here, but that's okay. This nib in this pen is one that Nicola wants to get from me. So, but I need to keep the barrel because I don't have this barrel in my collection. I mean, the pen body. Adding red to a manuscript is called rubricating. And that's a term that Nicola did not know until 10 minutes ago or so. So I taught him something. I was corrected by a calligrapher who said, no, it's not rubificating, pier. I added a extra syllable in it because I read it wrong or something. Are you going to be adding spaghetti? Oh, you are. Kind of. I'm going to do a feather on top.
I got white ink on there now, so probably not.
Okay.
Or maybe.
There's all that space up there. Maybe you had other plans. One of the things that Nicola and I'm trying to learn from Nick, and I'm trying to teach Nick a few things. And Nick is trying to teach me to slow down and to practice and to spell things correctly and learn how to do things. Taking more care, I think, is what Nick is trying to teach me to do. And I'm not trying to teach Nick to go faster, because I don't think that's quite the way to do it. Though you do go fast when you're doing your big, your big brushy stuff. Mm-hmm. But I've tried to get Nick to do the following, and I think I'll ask him if he does it and if he finds it helpful. Do you write smaller, leaving larger margins?
Yeah.
Good. Nick, when I would watch Nick on Periscope, he would go all the way toward the end, and he'd fit the thing in. I mean, the spacing was good. It's just that there was often only like a 1/4 inch of paper, blank paper, or 1/2 inch maybe. And when you think about how it's going to be framed later on or whatever, you're really, it made me feel claustrophobic, I guess is what and I said, just give yourself more space. And I think that was a good advice, and if you are following it, I think that's good.
Trying to.
It does. I mean, I don't think it hurts.
Yeah.
You know, even if you were to draw the pencil lines and just pretended that was the end, just in case you had a word that had that extra ly at the end, or that ing or whatever, and you're coming toward the end, you don't have to. Well, this is clearly a mistake, what I just did. But
What'd you do?
well, I did this. I mean, the whole thing is a mistake, is what I'm trying to say. Let's see if I can do another one. Now, one of the things, gentle viewer, is my hand has been sitting on this part of the paper, and the oils on your hand may...
That looks too bad.
No, it looks great. It's great. Huge. Good. You're going to try another goofy fast one for him? How about him?
Should. Should have brought some water, wash water.
I have some. I'll get some.